The socio-economic landscape of the United States, challenges and opportunities. The United States of America, the world's largest economy by nominal GDP, represents a complex and evolving socio-economic system. Its strengths are rooted in innovation, entrepreneurship, a diverse population, and a long-standing democratic framework. However, like any nation, it faces significant challenges, from income inequality and healthcare, disparities to education gaps and housing shortages. Understanding the broader economic and social fabric of the U.S. is critical to grasping its current trajectory and future prospects. 1. Economic strengths and growth drivers. The U.S. economy is powered by several robust sectors, including technology, finance, healthcare, manufacturing, and consumer services. As of 2024, the country's GDP exceeds $25 trillion, with unemployment remaining relatively low despite global economic volatility. The stock market continues to be a significant indicator of economic confidence, driven largely by innovation-heavy firms like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. Small businesses play a vital role, making up about 99% of all U.S. firms and employing nearly half of the workforce. Entrepreneurship and a relatively flexible labor market contribute to the country's economic resilience. 2. Income inequality and wealth disparities. One of the most pressing issues in the U.S. is the widening income and wealth gap. While the top 1% of earners hold more than 30% of the nation's wealth, millions of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Factors contributing to this disparity include globalization, technological advancement, wage stagnation in low-skilled jobs, and an unequal tax system. The federal minimum wage, set at $7.25 since 2009, has not kept pace with inflation. In urban centers, the cost of living continues to rise, making affordable housing and basic necessities increasingly difficult for lower-income families to access. 3. Employment and labor market trends. The U.S. labor market has undergone dramatic shifts in recent years, particularly due to the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent technological acceleration. Remote work has become a standard option in many sectors, leading to a more geographically dispersed workforce. Meanwhile, automation and AI have begun to replace jobs in sectors like manufacturing and retail, raising concerns about long-term employment stability for less educated workers. Nevertheless, the gig economy continues to expand, providing flexible, though often precarious, job opportunities. Platforms like Uber, DoorDash, and Fiverr have created new ways to earn, albeit with minimal benefits or job security. 4. Healthcare access and costs. Despite being home to some of the world's best hospitals and medical technology, the U.S. faces severe disparities in healthcare access. Approximately 8% of Americans remain uninsured, and medical expenses are the leading cause of personal bankruptcy in the country. The U.S. spends more per capita on healthcare than any other developed nation, yet life expectancy has stagnated and even declined in some. Demographics due to chronic disease, substance abuse, and mental health challenges. Efforts like the Affordable Care Act, ACA, have increased coverage, but rising drug prices and administrative costs remain barriers to achieving an equitable healthcare system. 5. Education and human capital. Education is a cornerstone of the American dream, yet the quality and accessibility of education vary widely. Public school funding is often linked to local property taxes, which results in large disparities between affluent and low-income districts. College education, while a pathway to upward mobility, comes with high costs. Student loan debt in the U.S. has surpassed $1.7 trillion. At the same time, the U.S. remains a leader in higher education, with many of the world's top universities attracting international talent and driving innovation in fields like AI, biotechnology, and energy. 6. Social issues and community dynamics. The U.S. is a nation of immigrants, known for its cultural diversity and social dynamism. However, systemic racism, political polarization, and urban-rural divides continue to strain the social fabric. Movements like Black Lives Matter and debates around immigration and policing reflect ongoing struggles for justice and equity. Mental health has also emerged as a national concern. Social media, economic stress, and post-pandemic trauma have contributed to rising levels of anxiety, depression, and suicide, particularly among young. Housing affordability is a growing crisis in many cities, with median home prices far outpacing wage growth. Homelessness rates are rising in places like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York. In response, there are increased calls for zoning reform, rent control, and investment in public housing. Meanwhile, the nation's infrastructure, from bridges to broadband, is aging. The $1.2 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, passed in 2021, aims to revitalize transportation systems, energy grids, and clean water access. But long-term execution remains a challenge. Looking ahead, innovation and resilience. Despite these challenges, the United States retains a strong capacity for reinvention and growth. The country's openness to innovation, strong legal system, and global influence give it significant advantages in navigating future economic shifts. The future of the U.S. economy and society will depend on its ability to balance capitalism with compassion, innovation with inclusion, and growth with sustainability.